going on, everybody?
Hi guys.
How's everybody doing?
Hope you guys are doing great.
Yep. So today we wanted to touch on soul ties. Now you're probably asking, what's a soul tie? Like, have you ever messed with somebody and then let's say you see them at a barbecue and it's like you just have a funny feeling, or something you just don't feel at ease, or something you was addicted to, you know? Like, I was addicted to alcohol. So when I see alcohol, I still get this little fuzzy feeling inside, and that's because I had a soul tie to it. You know, so today that's the type of subject that we are going to talk about: soul ties, how to overcome them. You know, because every soul tie, you can break that tie.
Yes. So my soul tie was, of course, sex. With some of my partners. I had a soul tie with them after I performed, sex with them. So I had to break a lot of those in my life. It was very hard because of the fact that I didn't even know it was a soul tie. I just thought that maybe I wasn't over the person, maybe I was still mad at that person. Like, you're looking at them and you feel like a sudden burning inside, or you pass them and it's like a feeling that comes over you. That's because you still have the soul tie and you need to get rid of it if you want to move on with the next person. So that's one of the things. And the second thing that I was truly addicted to, I know you're looking at me like, what in the world? But I was a heavy weed smoker. People who don't know what weed is, marijuana, that was me. I smoked a lot of weed. And, I didn't tell a lot of people about it. It was kind of like my own little secret thing that I did by myself and with a couple of friends who knew me personally. And, I was addicted to that. I had a soul tie with it because I felt like I couldn't live without it. I felt like, it was a part of me and I could only be the way that I wanted to be when I was smoking it. So these are some of the soul ties that we personally dealt with. And, I overcame them by prayer. Like, I can even tell you what happened when I let go of my weed soul tie. And I was smoking at the time I lived in Florida, and I was just smoking in my living room. I call it my white room. So I was smoking in my white room, and God just was like, I just started getting back in church, and God was just like, Dominique, you don't need that anymore. It's time to let it go. Now, I could have said, you know what, God, let me just smoke this and the rest that I have, and then after that, we can let it go. We can work on letting it go. But he was like, no, if you want to get this out of your system, if you want to break it, you have to let it go right now and today. So, as hard as it was, my hands just ripped the blunt. I put it in the toilet. I went to go get my stash. I emptied it all out into the toilet. It was very hard because I was money going down the drain. But I flushed the toilet, and from that day, I have not touched weed. And that is called breaking a soul tie. Sometimes it happens quick. Sometimes it's gonna take a process to get rid of it. But it will happen, and I encourage you to stay focused. If you're trying to break a soul tie, if you're trying to break something that you're really connected to, just pray about it, fast about it. Fasting is just turning over your plate, to see, what God could do while that time is. It's a sacrifice. And just prepare yourself and tell yourself you can get through it. So.
Yep. And to go back on my soul tie about alcohol, like, sometimes your generations will create a soul tie. So in my past generations, my family, we would love to drink. We just love to get alcohol, get together, and drink as much as we wanted to. So with that being said, when I had my first alcoholic beverage at the age of 14, instantly I was hooked, and I just loved the feeling of it. And I just, from right then and there, that first sip and that first drink, that soul tie was attached to my life. So ever since then, since the age of 14, I was just always trying to find my next alcoholic beverage. I used to go into my father's liquor cabinet, take some of his liquor. I would be outside and find, people who strung out on drugs to go inside, and I'll give them the money, and I'll give them $2 for going in and getting my alcoholic beverage. And it just started from there. I had a strong soul tie to alcohol. Like, when I got older, it just got worse and worse and worse. And you're dealing with the soul tie because you start feeling convicted for doing it. Like, eventually I started looking at my alcohol like, man, what am I doing with myself? Because God's trying to tell you, like, listen, I don't want you to take this direction. You know, I know how deep and I know how bad, if you stay strung out on alcohol, how bad it can get for you. So he keeps constantly, it's like a constant battle between good and evil. You want to stay to your soul tie, and then, you know, but God's trying to show you the bigger picture, like, look, you have to get away from this soul tie. And it just, you know, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but it's like till another video when we both just speak on our testimony.
Yeah.
But it's like, we just started getting repetitive. I started getting tired of it, you know, waking up with the hangovers and, you know, and like spending so much money on alcohol, it just all started to add up. And I felt like my life was going nowhere. And I felt like I was not becoming the person I was supposed to be. So I just started praying, you know, and eventually, you know, God sent me a dream. And after I had the dream, that day, I'm gonna speak on a dream too in a later video, but the dream was so powerful that on that same day, I gave up alcohol. And it's been since August 29, 2014, was the last time I ever touched the alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, so guys, we understand your struggle. We went through it, we go through it. You know, we're young, you know, I'm 26 and he's 28, so we're definitely dealing with a lot of the things that you guys deal with. So, you know, we just encourage you because we were that, you know what I mean? And if we can do it, surely you can do it, because, you know, we didn't think that we was going to be able to quit these things that we struggled giving up. You know, it was so close to us, like we needed it. So we didn't think that this could happen. But that's why you have to trust in the God that you serve, because he'll turn stuff around for you and you'll wake up and say, wow, I don't even remember that person. I don't even see myself doing that stuff anymore. And that's where you have to get to the point where you're called by a new name. And once you're called by a new name, you do new things and you impact in a new way. So just be encouraged and just never think that my sin or the things that I'm doing is too bad for God to handle, because it's not. It's not too bad, because here's a girl who was, you know, giving my body away, you know, to my partners. I was smoking weed, you know, I wasn't a big drinker, but I drank, you know what I mean? Did the club thing, you know. I was the girl, you know, who buy a whole 40 and don't share with nobody, you just smoke it by myself, you know what I mean? So that's the type of girl that I was. And when you look at me now, you don't see that, and that's only because I have God's grace upon my life, and so do you. When you start to search for your purpose, you will find your purpose. You will find the strength to give up masturbation. You will find the strength to give up sex. You will find the strength to give up drugs and alcohol. And even it goes as far as having attitudes with people, not liking them, stuff like that, things that affect your character. You'll start giving that stuff up, and God will just start transforming you and using you in a better way. So we just encourage you guys, you know, you can do anything that you set your mind to, especially with the God that you have. So we encourage you to keep pushing, and do not ever let the enemy think that you're stuck in anything, because you are not stuck in anything, because you can get out of it, and God is going to help you. So be encouraged.
Be vigilant, brothers and sisters.
Yes.
So that's our video on soul ties. You know, like I said, we're gonna get deeper into our testimony for you guys to know more about us, and just, you know, just give back on our experience, because that's the reason why we go through things, to help other people get through things, you know. So that's how it's always gonna come down to. So
yes. So
just
thank
appreciate
you guys
for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe
and comment below.
like, comment, you know, and then if you need to, shoot us an email, ask us any question. We just like to say thank you guys. You know?
Yes, and stay blessed, guys.